Hello, good people. Hi, how are you? You're welcome here. My name is Olaito Onyebonher. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant, and I'd like you to take this as my very first formal video here on this channel. And I'm really excited. But before we get started, I'd like to do a big introduction about myself. I arrived Canada over 11 years ago for my Master's of Business Administration degree, which is MBA, and I had that in the province of New Brunswick, St. John University of New Brunswick. And over the years, I have evolved because of my area of specialization, which was intentional path I chose to journey along, which is entrepreneurship and technology management. Alongside that, I started creating content from my page then on Oak Ridge Consulting, assisting people to discover Canada by way of studying. And to the glory of God, so many people discover the province of New Brunswick and other provinces through some of those realistic videos, knowledge that I was sharing on my page. And after some time working in IT corporations and having to go on maternity leave, I decided to do something meaningfully within the 18 months of maternity leave that I took. And the journey and the decision to go back to school, Ashton College, led me here today. And to the glory of God, I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant with registration number R708702. And I am also a licensed travel counselor, and I am eligible and authorized to sell travels to you. And these are two separate endeavors, but then I am legally authorized to represent you to make your journey a one-stop shop affair. Today, we're going to speak briefly about some things and some realities that I have seen. And what I want to do here is to break down those complex immigration updates that you've been getting here and there, into something real, practical, and less overwhelming. Because sometimes the way people talk about immigration, Canada, and other immigration pursuits, you begin to wonder and say, oh, this is overwhelming. Sometimes they often create expectations that are not realistic. But the goal here is very simple. I want to break it down into some realistics and fact-driven expectations. And I don't want you to stress yourself unnecessarily. So to this end, I'd like you to just grab a popcorn if you can, or grab a cup of water, stay healthy, as we quickly journey through this brief conversation I'd like to have with you on today, October 10, 2025. Okay, so now let's look backwards in the last 10 days. We've seen how the journey of invitation to apply to become permanent resident has been. Between October 1st and October 10, suffice to say October 6th, because today is 10th, so like 4 days ago, Canada issued over 5,000 invitation, which is 5,500 invitation under the express entry, right? And these are just two draws only, just two draws. One is under the Canadian Experience class, and the second one is under the French Proficiency Program. The French Proficiency Program has a cutoff of 432, while that of Canadian Experience class has a cutoff of 534. Now you might be wondering, and so what does that got to mean? Well, that's it. It's no general draw, nor all program. Just two very focused categories, French and the Canadian Experience class. So now let's break it down. What does this mean for you? What does this mean for me as a stakeholders and sector players as a consultant that is also recognized by the Government of Canada, Immigration, Refugee and Citizenship Canada as an authorized paid representative? The thing here is for you, if you're already in the Canada, under the Canadian Experience class, yes, the bar is high, we can say. That's over 530 points, right? But you got to stay competitive. If you are not up to that right now, what can you do differently? We're going to get to that. If you have French skills, well, you are in luck. The door seems to be much wider for you that you are expecting your invitation, or you are in the pool awaiting the miracle to get called, maybe in the next round, right? So I want to see those two opportunities as a key way to say, what if I am a graduate in Canada? I'm currently having my PGWP and I've tried to put my information on the portal. I don't have up to even 500 now, or I don't even know where I fall into. About take your time and learn French and take French exams to increase your language score. That's one idea. So don't just stay, laid back and say, oh, well, I have my PGWP, I'm good and all of that. It may not necessarily be. Now, what I wanted to do right now is to find a way to think about what you can do with French. Okay? Think about what you can do with French. Sorry, welcome back. I quickly took a break. So now we want to talk about the implication for these two categories. For eligibility for Canadian Experience Class, Canada still continues to emphasize that they would rather have those people that are inside to be established economically, because there is a strong push right now. There is a strong advocacy for the temporary foreign worker program to even be put on hold or to even be scrapped. We know that the journey to scrapping it is not a reality to argue or to be old, but the point I'm trying to make here is that the preference for welcoming economic immigrants is still focusing more on the Canadian Experience Class. That is, those people that are already here, they are established as either a work permit holder or a postgraduate work permit holder, or you are even studying, you're about to graduate either at the master's level under the particular classification, the industry classification code or the NOC code that is really eligible to support the sector that is in their need of certain skill sets. So what is the reality now is Canada still prefers to integrate those that are already inside, which means they are able to adapt quicker and faster to the existing job industry. They don't have to, employers or even the sector participants and players don't have to invest too much in training or helping those kind of people to adapt. As a matter of fact, this also does not put pressure on the social welfare system, right? In terms of waiting for these people to adjust, to get trained, the welcome, the newcomer centers and all of that. So they are well able to put their budgets on other priorities. Secondly, Francophone immigration mobility. This has continued to be on the lips of the government since 10 months ago, as a lot of things has changed. There is still a big push, folks, to strengthen the Francophone communities across Canada. But for the purpose of my own practice, my practice is outside of Quebec, right? But as much as I know, there is a Francophone mobility program right now where employers also are able to issue an LMIA work exempt to certain people that have the Francophone ability, like French speaking ability, right, to work in provinces outside of Quebec. That also should send a strong push and a strong signal to you that the French side of things is an option to consider if you are currently in Canada and you want to get more points to strategically position yourself in the pool. Okay? And also you can see that the CRS for the French program that people were invited for this season is even lower than the Canadian Experience Class. And what does that still tell you? It tells you that the attractiveness of Francophone mobility program cannot be overemphasized. Neither can you just shove it aside, right? Now, for you as an applicant, what do you really need to know? What do you really need to prioritize? What do you really need to put into consideration? Here is what it means. If you're currently preparing your profile or your profile is already logged in, if you're in Canada as we speak, holding a work permit or anything, be ready for a dynamic competition, which means you don't know if the next draw is going to even go as higher as the 530s that we have on the 1st of October, or if it's going to go down. The probability of it going down is kind of slim, right? Because they are trying to also respond to the forces of demand and supply and the pressure, the key players, those that are agitating that the temporary foreign workers program should be scrapped. And the government is also responding by raising the bar in terms of making sure that they're saying, hey, we hear our rivals saying we should push this away, but no, we don't have to do this, but we are taking steps to bring the process under a high level of scrutiny. So what does that mean for you? The dynamic situation around even categorizing and saying, oh, we estimate or we assumed or we foresee or we forecast that the next program is going to be like maybe in the range of maybe 500 or 520 is very slim. I would recommend that you just zero your mind at worst case scenario, we're looking at 550. And if it comes down, it's all good for you. Sometimes I tell my clients or my friends and my folks that connect with me to say, what is the worst case scenario that I can plan with? When you program your mind to the worst case scenario, you are better off standing at an advantage and at a strategic position such that whatever it is, you are still covered, right? So please, every point counts for you. Check your education. For those people that say, you know what, because I'm coming to study as an international student, I will not let Canada know that I've had a master's before or I've had this before. That's misrepresentation. If you are yet to come into Canada, you are thinking of coming to study, you have everything, you have enough money, don't hold back any of your academic experience, because by the time you're going to be doing your WES, like your credential assessment, you will be able to put all this information together, and that has the potential of giving you more points. But if you have actually put your information as the education you have, no worries, no qualms. Just look at a way to find opportunities. Taking French language classes, have a tutor to coach you through French, the TCF and the TEF, and that could increase your chances and give you more points. If you have a French skill already, right, and the score, maybe one of the points is a bit lower, you can retake it, because even intermediate French can change your trajectory. You can always get some opportunities from increasing or rewriting those tests. Okay, so Canada is not just picking top CRS scores, they are picking also from priority groups that meets the labor and cultural goal. So what industry are you currently in, right? That could also give you an opportunity. And I know right now some people are feeling discouraged to say, I don't even understand anymore. It seems my industry is not working. Have you taken your time to also have a conversation with your employer? Maybe there is an internal posting that could potentially put you at an advantage in a functional area. It then helps you to revisit your national occupation classification to review, because sometimes the occupation classification could be misleading. And maybe you've been using a no code that has put you at a position of disadvantage. You need to look into that, okay? So now, to just round up on my conversation today, I know some people are already feeling discouraged already, right? Because you're outside of this category. Please don't feel discouraged, because sometimes IRCC runs targeted draw now, right? When you look at healthcare, trades, education, even PMP, provincial nomination programs, and more, I've been seeing that has been, that has been selected this year since January till date. But the real reality, like my people will say, the cocoa of the matter, the real fact is that French seems to be the pathway, right, to you getting an advantage, towards like a lower, the comprehensive ranking score cutoff, which is the CRS points. And for those of you that are already in Canada, persistence, trying to also navigate, find other gigs that also could help you to put your work experience side by side. And there is a disclaimer: if you're in a closed work permit, you are really close to your employer. You are not eligible to even start dancing around or seeking opportunities here and there. That's the disclaimer, okay? So, but then I'll just welcome you to stay hopeful. The system keeps on adjusting and bringing details and changes here and there. After this conversation today, so many things will change. As you always know, when immigration wants to change something, they will say effective immediately. to the extent at which this session could be handy, could be useful, could be insightful, the moment the policy change and IRCC says effective immediately, you need to take or watch this video and exercise caution and discretion and head back to IRCC portal, canada.ca, to weigh all the options, the insights, the guidance side by side to the current legislation, to the current operational manual, to the current ministerial instructions that would now help you navigate the other parts. Guess what? Even we immigration consultants, some days we feel so overwhelmed. It's been a mentally draining journey for a lot of us since 2023. When the policy keeps on changing every second, to the minutes, to the hours, and our industry has faced so many uncertainties that even behooves us to also thread cautiously when we share information. To this end, this video is not a legal advice, and to the extent of uniqueness of your journey, if you find the journey overwhelming, I recommend you reach out to a licensed Canadian immigration consultant that is certified and acknowledged and regulated to support you. We also have the immigration lawyers, we also have the paralegals that also operate from the province of Ontario. Make sure you ask them for their license number, so that you can hold them responsible when you have engaged them and they did not fulfill the terms of your bargain. But on this note, I want you to stay hopeful, and I know that the system is broadening. A lot of things are happening, changes are being made and implemented, but you don't have to let the absolute highest comprehensive ranking score or the scorer to get in your way. You just have to find your own readings, find your strategic opportunities that you can implement to bring your scores higher, right? And you never know, okay? So to my viewers that are watching me right now, what do you think? Do you see yourself fitting into the Canadian experience class, the French or another category? And if you do, what are those things that is giving you a sleepless night around, oh, I don't have enough score, how do I improve this, how do I get started? I don't even know how to do that. Leave me a chart and I'll be sure to dig deep with you to help you uncover ways you can stand out or ways you can improve upon your current situation. Okay, so thank you everyone for watching this video. If you're watching, I would like to let you know again that your journey is quite different from the other person. Is quite different from Rosemary, is quite different from Sean, is different from Moji, is different from Chiomar, is different from Asante. Just make sure you're walking the path and you're fulfilling the condition and the requirement that your program criteria is expecting of you. And if you have the need to go extra mile, to stretch yourself beyond your comfort zone to learn French, I think you should, because you will thank yourself later that you took the bull by the horn and you made the right move. Okay, so like I said, just a quick recap. In the last 10 days between October 1st and 6th, over 5,000 people, that is 5,500 people were invited under the Canadian Experience class and the French proficiency, right, which is more like the Francophone Mobility Immigration Program, right? And this tells us that Canada's priority hasn't changed in terms of the direction they are heading, right? Francophone side of things is a priority, which the Minister of Immigration has always emphasized and re-emphasized, right? So please try to improve your score, and I pray that all things will fall in the right shape and lines will continue to fall onto you in pleasant places. Thank you so much. If you found this video useful, okay, don't forget to like, please share with someone, subscribe so you don't miss the next update. Like I said, this is my first official video after a very long time. I used to do a lot of videos then before COVID, but then life took me in a different direction. I had to go back to school. I'm in another school, so I developed a cold feet when I was trying to do this, but I said to myself, Olaito, you don't have anything, to lose, but to share something so that people can pick some lessons and we all can be human together. The video might not really be the fancy you're expecting, but please take the knowledge, take the information, take the data points, take the encouragement, and let's move with it. I hope you have a wonderful long holiday. The Thanksgiving season is here. We need to have a reason to be thankful. As a matter of fact, the past 1 year has been very tough for me. I've had a huge loss, losing my father, losing my mother-in-law. They're two very special people in my heart. And, sometimes you just look at things like that, you want to give up, but you still have to be thankful that at the end of the day, they lived a good life for me. I am thankful for that. And I'm also thankful for the opportunity to show up, to support my clients, and also to be human with people that I meet along the way. What are you thankful for? Think about it. Even be thankful for the opportunity to be here in Canada. Be thankful for the opportunity to learn about Canada, to plan your journey, to relocate to Canada. Be thankful for the air that you breathe. Be thankful for the gifts of food. Be thankful for the money in your pocket. Be thankful even for the hair that we're not paying for. Be thankful for friends, families. Be thankful for even foes. Be thankful for allies. I am thankful for everything, and I'm thankful to God for the gift of life and for the journey He has helped me to make with seventh laurel, because seventh to me is a number of perfection, and as a person of faith, I hold this a duty of care to support my clients from start to completion. And until I come back again, stay well, stay healthy, and stay thankful. My name once again is Olaiton. You can call me Ola, and you can follow us on our social media space. Stay well and God bless you. Have a good one. Bye.